Hi guys, so we're going to start our next topic now. So what I want you to do first off is have a look at this image on the screen there. And what do you think this is about? Have a look at the imagery. It's quite an old image, as you can see. It says it's from 1917. There's a quote on the bottom, or like a strap line on the bottom. Have a look at the background, the type of workers, and what do you think this represents, and what do you think today is going to be all about? So just pause the video, examine this for a few seconds, and then have a think. What do you think this could represent? What do you think it's all going to be about? Okay, so hopefully you had a look at that. So as you can see, it's quite an old piece of imagery. It's quite a famous piece of, quite a famous cartoon, talking about trade unions. Okay, so if you look at all the workers, they're all working together in order to have greater control in their working conditions. Okay, so if you look at the background, we've got ports, we've got factories, so we're talking industrial revolution. We can see these are quite blue-collar workers, and it's a piece of trade union imagery in order to promote trade unions. Okay, so what we're looking at today is going to be trade unions. So I want to be able to explain what a trade union is, and to be able to explain the benefits and negatives of being in a trade union. Okay, we're going to do a few little tasks today, and then one major task at the end. And then in the single lesson, you can back this up by doing the workbook chapter on this, but we're not going to do the workbook chapter on trade unions today. Okay, so what I'd like to do first off is pause this video, go back to my Google Classroom post, and watch the short video. It is really, really cheesy, and the acting is really, really bad, but the information and message of the video is really, really relevant. Okay, so have a watch this video, and then what you want to be thinking as you're watching this: what is a trade union? What do they do? Why would somebody want to be in a trade union? Basically, what was the message of this video? Okay, so just pause mine, flick back to that one, and then come back to my video in a moment. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you've watched that video there. As I said, it's really cheesy, it's really badly acted, but the actual message and information is exactly the kind of things we need to know, okay? So what is a trade union then? So a trade union is an organization set up by workers to protect and promote their common interests. And by their common interests, I mean working conditions, I mean equal rights, increase in pay, and to make sure that workers aren't being exploited and treated poorly. Okay, so a trade union is set up by workers, and then to join the trade union. So you might have a trade union of teachers, and then to join that trade union, people would pay a small annual membership fee, and that funds the trade union and helps create the documentation, and it gives them the finance that they need to operate. Very large unions might even have full-time workers working for the trade union, or a small trade union might have trade union representatives which work in the normal company. So it could be a teacher that's doing their job day to day and is the trade union representative for that business. So it really depends on the size of the trade union. Most trade unions do have some full-time workers that just work for the trade union, and then a large number of workers that do their normal job and then are trade union leaders or representatives for the rest of their staff. Okay, so they're set up by workers and consist of members of a certain profession who pay a membership fee to be part of the trade union. Okay, and they will deal with collective bargaining, which is when the business negotiates with the whole business. So it's when the business negotiates with the trade union to secure higher wages for all the workers. The trade union would also represent individual workers. So if a worker had been unfairly dismissed, which means that they've been dismissed for a reason that they don't feel is fair, maybe it's because of their gender, or maybe it's because they've got a personality conflict with their manager, so they feel like they've been unfairly dismissed, then the trade union will help represent them either in an industrial tribunal, which is like a court system for businesses, or in actual criminal court if it reaches that point. Okay, so you don't automatically become a member, you have to pay to be a member, but it's set up entirely for the benefit of their workers. They are not profit-making organizations. All the membership fees go to protecting workers. Okay, So, little research task now. I want you to spend about 15 minutes on this. So what I'd like you to do is find an example from the news of when there's been a major dispute between a business and a trade union. So what was the dispute over? So what was the conflict over? You'll find many examples of these, doctors, airlines, teachers. You'll find so many examples in the past 2-3 years or something. What was the conflict over? What action had been taken? Did it reach a strike level? Was there contract following? Find out what those terms mean. And was there a resolution, or is it still ongoing today? Okay, so find an example, and then hopefully in the next Google Meet, we can share a few of these and share what information we've found out. Okay, so spend quite a bit of time, 10-15 minutes, read around. You'll find lots of information. Try BBC News or any other good news website. You will find many stories on this, and then just make a few notes. You can even do it straight into your notes file if you want, but be prepared to share in our next Google Meet. Okay? Okay, and then the final thing I want you to do today, I still want to keep with that creative side like we were doing with the videos last lesson, is imagine you are a trade union leader looking for people to join your trade union. And the main way they do that is obviously have websites and videos and YouTube channels, but they create a lot of leaflets and brochures trying to encourage people of the benefits of joining the trade union. So what I would like you to do is to create a document like this. You can use something like Canva that's really aesthetic, looks really nice. Or I guess you could use some kind of Google Suite or Adobe Illustrator, whatever you've got skills in. Canva's very easy to make something that looks very professional and nice, okay? So what I'd like you to do is create a leaflet advertising and attempting to recruit more members. So it's like a promotional document for your trade union. So it should include what union are you and what are your aims. So you could be the National Union of Teachers or the National Union of Pilots or any major industry that you want to represent. What are the aims of your union? So again, what are common aims of a trade union, and put them on your leaflet. What powers do you have? So things like collective bargaining, a go slow, strike action, contract following are all things that you want to find out about and talk about. Why is having more members important to your union? Think back to that original image with all the workers coming together to create that giant fist. So why is having more members important to your union? And then the main bit is, why should workers join your trade union? What are the incentives? Think back to the video that you watched earlier, the cheesy one in the British office. So why should workers join your trade union? What benefits can they expect? That's a very similar bullet point. So you can kind of do those together kind of thing. And why might government and businesses wish to reduce trade union membership? Trade union membership has been falling in the past sort of 30 years, 40 years, since the 70s and 80s. Trade union membership has fallen. Why might that be the case? And why might government and businesses wish to reduce trade union membership? So you can think of it from a business's point of view and a government's point of view as part of your brochure to try and encourage people to join. Okay? And that was it. So I'll put this up as a separate document. No, I probably won't. You can just pause this video and keep flicking back and forth. So this is your entire work for the double lesson or a single and the first of your next lesson, depending on how your lessons split. So you've got plenty of time for this. You can do your own research. You can use Tutor2You, really good access, really good resource for information. So if you put into Google trade unions, Tutor2You, you'll find several links in there. Or you've got the online textbook, or you can use other websites, okay? Don't just copy and paste. You need to fully understand it. You need to have it in language that makes sense to you, because you're trying to learn about these, okay? So that's the task for today. Any questions, any problems, drop me an email and we'll have a Google Meet to follow, okay? We'll have a Google Meet to follow once we've done a bit of work on trade unions, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Drop me an email or leave a comment if there's anything that does not make sense to you. Okay, thank you.